Alright, saints, and friends, or whoever watches videos. I'm going to try to record a little video. Been a while. But today is Monday. It's the Monday after the day of Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. And I was sure hoping the Lord would have healed me on Yom Kippur, or do something, kill me, heal me, but just don't let me be. But anyway, I did receive some dreams and things I'll be recording. But first I want to talk about the Koran, actually. And, I've been studying a little bit about the Koran and the Muslims' writing, and the fact that a lot of people are talking about how it's written in such a way that it's an antithesis to the Bible. I mean, it seems to be that somebody has actually sat down knowing the Bible or copying the Bible. They wrote the Koran while the Bible was in hand. That's what it appears. And I thought, I want to look at the Koran and the history of it, and who is behind the Koran and the writing of it. Because either they copied the Bible, the Torah and things, or somebody was actually inspired. I mean, it had to be an inspired person to be able to sit down and write an antithesis to the Bible, to the New Testament and all that. Well, in my studying, I ran onto this name, Tamim Ad-Dari. Well, the word Tamim, I've actually preached about this word. I've got a YouTube video out about it, and it's a key word, a Hebrew word, a title, a descriptive title. And I think it's one of the secrets of Christianity. But it identifies a person is not Tun, but Tamim, with a Yod and a Mim on the end, means that this person had the Spirit and the water, the two things that bear witnesses along with the blood on earth. So I wanted to read about this Tamim Ad-Dari, and apparently he was a Christian scholar who became a Muslim when you read about the history of him. But he wasn't just any Christian, he was somebody. And it says here, he was not an ordinary person in the Christian religion. Rather, he was reckoned to be a famous monk and worshiper among the people of Palestine. So, we have a person that has a code word in a title, Tamim, which is perfect. And among Christians, way back then, the first centuries of Christianity, this would have been a title that indicates a person who has the Holy Spirit and also the dew that falls upon. So we have a person who once may have been enlightened, and it says that he knew the scriptures, both the Torah and everything. So we have someone who is very enlightened, apparently, bringing, maybe he's had visions and dreams, and it's had revelations concerning the end times. I do not know, except what he wrote and spoke about was an antithesis to Christianity. And so I studied and seen that in the background, of the Koran, Muhammad had a Christian man called Tamim ad-Dari, and supposedly Muhammad gave him territory within Palestine. But anyway, this guy talks most about the end times and what was going to happen. He's the instructor of Muslims, and what has been written came from him. So that is a strong indicator as to somebody who may have forsaken the Lord and taken the visions and dreams he's had and twisted things to mess up the Muslims. Alright? And some of the signs I wanted to look up, well, what are the signs of the Mahdi and the indication of his coming? Well, one of the signs is a star with a luminous tail will rise from the east before his emergence. And like I've said, I feel like something to do with this Ison, the comet Ison coming up, has to do with the signs of the times and the beginning of the end. But way back then, this fellow was saying that a star with a luminous tail would rise. So that's one thing. And another was, it was saying that in Ramadan there would be an eclipse or a double eclipse to talk about eclipses, which Mark Biltz has, started that study when he pointed out that apparently it could be eclipses that the Bible's talking about precedes the day of the Lord. So here this same ancient Christian has some of the same ideas that he's putting forth to the Muslims. Alright? And also, the sun, it says when the sun, according to Islam, when the sun rises out of the west, talks about the sun rising up from the west and then going back down. And that at that time it will change the Muslims to such that their faith will be real strong and Muslims will come out and go forth at that point. Because that is one of the signs that they're really looking for. Well, what's funny about this is I had a dream here a while back that prior to the Muslims' day that I would see at night the moon go down and it would be a sliver, kind of I don't know if it's a new moon or whatever you call it, but it's just a sliver of a moon shaped like a cup, and it would go down below the horizon, and then the earth would be hit by a comet or something. I don't know. Something struck the earth, and then it made the earth rotate back. It was such force that the moon rose again above the horizon, and from that day forth was the day, in my understanding, of the Muslims. And then all of a sudden I saw from a distance the earth, and on the northern part of the earth debris was flying in space that come up off the earth. I mean, it was such a strike that debris actually flew up into space. A terrible thing. And this was a while back, but it's just one of those dreams. There's nothing you can do about it. I've talked about it. But then again, here recently, like I said, just in the past week or so, I've been studying the Koran history, and this guy talks about the sun coming up from the west. Well, if the moon comes up here from setting, and it's a sliver of the moon, then the sun must be on what side of the earth, and maybe it comes up in the Middle East. The sun sets in the Middle East and it arises, and that kind of struck me that this was said way back then. But anyway, so I had a dream of similarity, but it had to do with the moon rising from here. But from there, it probably would be the sun would arise from the west after it's set. So, it's kind of weird that this guy became a false prophet of the Lord, and he's taken this Tamim Ad-Diri, who was a Christian of notoriety, and he had a title, a Hebrew title, Tamim, which means perfect, and it has to do with the Spirit and with the water, the testimony of the Holy Spirit that's hidden, which I've preached about. This guy has given them some mixed with, some truth, maybe, visions that he's had concerning the end times. And also, he's, they've had to deal with the Lord Yeshua. And there's a false Yeshua. Maybe they've got it mixed up somewhat. And, we know that there will be some children of Esau, and they'll have a false prophet. Maybe he will be a Jew. But also there's the tribe of Benjamin that shall arise in the last days. As Rachel travails, Benoah is born, the son of her sorrow, and becomes Benjamin. Benjamin will be born in the land, according to the Bible and Yeshua. They should be saved in one day, but there shall be Esau also. That makes, it's kind of funny. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. That Islam, their in end times visions or end time philosophy is founded by a Christian of notoriety, nonetheless, with a secret title that I've claimed to be myself, that I am also Tamim, experiencing the dew and the breath. So, but this guy here abdicated, he left the Lord and became Muslim. So it makes me wonder how much of their Koran is based on visions and dreams prior to him becoming a Muslim. And when he said that I think a Dajjal, the beast that he met in the Antichrist that will come from the east, that was in the monastery, perhaps he did visit them. Perhaps he did see this vision, and these things, he was converted by the Antichrist to start a religion that is semi-truth. So it's something to wonder about. Okay, but let me close this out, and I want to get on to talking about something else. But it is interesting to know that the signs that we're about to see a comet, and they're looking for a comet with a tail. They're looking also for the solar eclipses at certain times. That the same things that Christians are looking at. That's just phenomenal. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. But anyway, moving on, I was going to talk about a dream that I had after Yom Kippur. Okay, I had a dream. I was standing by some sort of cage or something. Anyway, a fledgling eagle, and it wasn't white like this. It was actually brown, puffy feathers. But it was a fledgling, and it's bigger than a chicken. Okay, it landed on these poles that were beside my hand. It was so big old talons and stuff. I thought, ain't that cute, a fledgling? And it fell on the floor where it began to fight with an armadillo. Okay, and I thought, the fledgling was clumsy and couldn't do much. It's really just a fledgling. And it's funny to see how it moved on the ground. It wasn't sitting real upright. Its legs, like, it couldn't hold itself erect very well. And it was fighting with an armadillo, and it wasn't doing too good. And all of a sudden, the fledgling disappeared. And a bear was there. A young cub. Not real young, but a cub. And he had real sharp teeth, and he went to fight with this armadillo. And he started biting at the armadillo's mouth and ripping it open side to side. And when he got the taste of blood, the bear was hungry. And he started ripping that armadillo open and eating as he went. I'm like, that bear's hungry. Well, all these people that were standing around were feeling sorry for the armadillo and what the bear was doing to it. I told them to let the bear alone and let it just eat the armadillo, because usually in a trap we throw them armadillos away. They just waste in a trap. And they wanted to know, they felt sorry for what the bear was doing to the armadillo. And I remember saying, boy, that bear's hungry. And he kind of ripped the armadillo half in two and was eating. When he saw the blood, he got excited and for the taste of blood. But I just thought it funny at this time that an eagle was trying to attack an armadillo and then wasn't doing a good job, and soon a bear attacked it. And I didn't know if it a sign of something, maybe Russia will begin to attack, or it came to my mind, the bear in the Bible was Medes and the Persians, and maybe Syria was the armadillo. And because Syria is showing weakness in the face of the eagle, which is acting like a fledgling, and it's not able to do much with the armadillo, because of Obama, it seems that we left, and then maybe the bear, which is Medes and Persians, not liking the armadillo conceding, or decide to give up chemical weapons, or the attitude. Perhaps they take care of Assad. I have no idea. It just seemed funny, a dream at this particular time, so I thought I'd tell you about it. But here's here's a picture of a comet. Like I said, it had a luminous tail. Well, this comet coming will have a luminous tail for sure. And it will be a sign that the Muslims will think to match with the Koran. But also, these coming eclipses will be a sign to the Muslims. And this here is a picture of the Dajjal, Islam's crazy Antichrist image, that is was told to them by Tamim ad-Dari, the Christian. And it's funny, like I said, at his appearance and what they believe in. It said this Antichrist, Dajjal, will claim to be Jesus Christ and will claim to be divine. So a lot of their beliefs crisscross with ours, to an extent that you have to know that Christian guy had his own beliefs. He carried his own beliefs and maybe some visions and dreams to the Koran, to Muhammad, which they got written down and interpreted. and they're just all out of whack. But some of the sign, there's some truth maybe hidden there, concern maybe the signs, the eclipse, and the comet's tail, and the sun rising from the west. So, and they believe that this will be, God will lead some evil Jews, and then a real Christ shows up and kills those Jews. Well, that kind of goes along with what a lot of Christians believe, as far as the Jews are looking for their own Messiah and be a false Messiah. But there's some Jews that will be saved. I mean, there's Esau and there's Jacob. And, so it's kind of, anyway, I thought that would be interesting, and I decided to make a little film of it. And I'm going to post it, and people can look at it and make comments or whatever they want to do. Okay.